If you have any questions, you put them in the Q&A button beneath me. I'll go through them one by one and answer them as best I can. If you have something that is more of a conversation or a series of questions, I can unmute your mic. Just let me know in the chat and I will unmute your mic and we can have a conversation about it. So with that said, I'll wait and see what questions you have. So Vanessa, is that something you want to do, you'd be open to doing on audio? Okay, you can unmute.
Can you hear me?
I can.
Hi, thank you. Okay, so it looks like you are a CMS system, right? Kind of membership CMS.
The result is the answer to that question. The ultimate result is yes, but it's because of the combination between MemberMouse and WordPress that the answer is yes.
Right. That's what I gathered with WordPress.
Yeah.
Can we customize this to tailor to our branding and our company?
Yes, 100%. So you think of MemberMouse as the engine of the car and all the mechanics that help it to operate. We run inside of WordPress. So what you get with WordPress is entire thematic capability, right? You can either get an off-the-shelf theme, popular themes like Divi. You can use those to have a low effort approach to getting your site set up, or you can have custom themes developed to get precisely what you're looking for. Any way you go though, MemberMouse really doesn't have anything to do with ultimately the look and feel of your site. It's ultimately functionally powering the whole thing in terms of the membership capabilities, the e-commerce capabilities, all of that stuff.
Credit card gateway, all that stuff.
Yep.
And you use Stripe, is that right?
MemberMouse integrates with many payment providers. The top two that our customers utilize are PayPal and Stripe. I would say over 90% of our customers use one of those, but we integrate with others.
Okay, good. Because Stripe is rated actually pretty high, so I probably would.
Yeah, I would recommend that.
Okay. I guess back to the first question. So could we link, this could be a link we could put on our website, correct?
Yes. You can either use the site where MemberMouse is installed to be both your pre-sales and post-sales or behind the paywall site, content delivery site, or you can have a separate site, which a lot of customers do. They'll have a separate site, which is their pre-sales marketing site, et cetera, where they actually promote whatever is being sold. And then when it ultimately comes to purchase, it links to the site where MemberMouse is installed, where they can complete the purchase, get access to the content, log in, all that stuff.
Excellent. Okay, I have a couple more questions. Sorry.
No, it's great. It's fine. That's what this is.
So is this? Do you have like a task? Like, okay, so now we're on the back end. Now we're not looking on the user side. We're in the back end. So do you have like a tasking system, like a workflow that like we could run reports, time, like log time that we spend on our clients? That kind of stuff, or
not all of that specifically. So there's two ways I'll answer that question. The first way is we do have reports. So you will have access to reports specifically related to the types of data that MemberMouse collects and manages. Now, the thing to keep in mind about WordPress is that it's designed to have plugins to it. MemberMouse is a plugin for WordPress. So for a lot of things, like task managing is definitely more of a traditional CMS feature. or actually not CMS, CRM feature, customer
Yes, yeah,
relationship
we have a
management.
CRM. We actually
Yeah,
have a
so
CRM. So
you would probably use more of a specific system like that, a third-party system for that. However, there may be WordPress plugins that specifically add that capability to WordPress itself if it's important for you to have that in the same ecosystem and the same backend as where MemberMouse lives. But we don't personally have functionality that allows you to create tasks. You can manage notes. There is a lot of information on the member level where you can track the activities of members. Anytime you're servicing an account within the manage members area, there's a lot of screens that you have access to where you can assist your customer from the back end or a call center. And then there is a notes field where you can keep notes about particular accounts, but it's not as sophisticated as you would be used to if you've used CRMs.
okay, we have a CRM, so we could probably just use that.
Yeah, and the thing to
We
keep
need
in
to.
mind too, in terms of interoperability between two different systems, is MemberMouse has a push notification system which allows you to communicate with, you can trigger emails based on that. You can
Excellent.
call custom scripts based on that. And you can also integrate with Zapier based on that. Zapier is basically a bridge between MemberMouse and thousands of other applications. So for example, say you're using Salesforce or whatever. If you want to keep Salesforce synchronized with what's happening in MemberMouse, you can create a push notification that's get triggered when a member's added, when a member status changes, when somebody purchases a particular product. And it can, through Zapier, automatically inform Salesforce and trigger some action in Salesforce. So there are ways that you can keep these third-party systems in sync with MemberMouse.
Okay, great. Okay. I know you said you had a notes section. Is there a place where we could keep or send documents like e-signing, like Adobe or DocuSign, like something like that? Is there any kind of document sharing?
We don't provide that functionality. Of course, the answer is, can you do that? Yes, but it's going to be, again, through some searching to see if WordPress, maybe some of these companies already have WordPress plugins. So you can just, install that plugin alongside of MemberMouse. And yeah, so it'll probably be between some combination of those things.
Okay. Promise I'm almost finished. No, okay, so these kind of go into each other. The chat, is there a chat feature? I know you said there's a notes section and there's a push notifications, but is there a chat feature?
Like live chat with customers?
Yes.
No. Again, that would be a plugin that you would want to install. Now, the thing is to keep in mind with those types of questions, like anything like any plugin that would require knowledge about MemberMouse members, say like live chat or a member directory or a forum or something like this. One thing that we plan for ahead of time is that we want people to be able to use these other plugins in concert with MemberMouse. So WordPress has its own user system built into it, and MemberMouse integrates directly with that user system. So when you go to look at plugins like a member directory or a chat plugin or something like that, knowing that we integrate with the user system is going to mean that you're going to likely be able to use any plugins that are out there.
I'll do some more research on that, but
yeah.
Okay, let me see. I think I have.
But a chat module probably won't even necessarily be a plugin itself. I think when I've used chat modules on our website or other websites in the past, usually like if you go with like live chat or somebody like that, they give you like this JavaScript code that you just paste on the site, and that's the installation right there. Usually you don't need a plugin or something to do that.
Let me see, two other things. Oh, so do you have a place where we could place like a library of content, like training materials or videos?
Yes, that's essentially one of the, one of the wheelhouses of the things that MemberMouse does. It's
Excellent.
extremely flexible. So there's really no limits in terms of what you can do in that. I'm not sure how familiar you are with WordPress, but
I'm not. I've heard of it, but I don't know enough about it.
so it's a CMS, right? So
Mhm.
it is designed for content creation. So MemberMouse is designed in concert with that to protect that content. So through WordPress and through how your theme is organized, you can create and deliver your content in whatever form that you want. You can do courses, you can have a library of courses, you can deliver it more like a magazine, the sky's the limit. You can structure it any way you want, and that's mostly on the WordPress side. MemberMouse comes in where it's like, okay, I want to now protect this content specifically for people who have bought this
Yes,
product
that was my next question.
or
Thank
that
you.
product. Yeah. So both of those things are entirely possible, and you have tons of flexibility. Um, and that really starts getting into the heart of the things that MemberMouse does, because now when you're talking about protecting content and offering it to people, you also start quickly getting into things like ability to upsell to other products, cross-sell to other products based on purchase history,
Yes.
using our smart tag system to dynamically detect who's looking at the page, and based on who they are, showing them specific content that will help them make a decision about something that they may want to purchase in addition to what they already have. So there's a whole suite of other things that you can now do once we start going to those areas.
Excellent. Okay. Um, this is great. Now it's just, and obviously I'd probably want to talk to a salesperson or maybe, but now it just boils down to cost and then talking about these plugins. If we were interested in these different plugins.
Right. I mean, yeah, I mean, and it's also going to come down to, um, you know, the planning process, like who's going to be implementing this site for you.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's one thing to know the materials that you need. I would say the plugins that will provide the different functionality. It's like, okay, I know I want to use this plugin, this plugin, this plugin. I want to have this theme. But then some skilled person usually has to come in and weave those things together. You can figure it out. One can figure it out. It's not rocket science, but there are trade-offs. And so if you did want to have assistance or someone experienced who built sites, we have a catalog of people we have many different options about ways that we can assist and resources we can point you to that will help you travel down the path from basically on the spectrum of the more that you want to do to the less you want to do. Of course, the less you want to do, the higher the capital investment's going to be because you're paying somebody else. The less you want to do, it usually provides a combination of guidance and tools that will make the process a lot shorter, like using out-of-the-box themes like Divi. We provide a layout pack that automatically styles all of our core pages, like the checkout page and confirmation pages and stuff. So you don't have to worry about doing all that styling yourself. So there's different options, but yeah, you can email our support team with specific questions like that. Once you've kind of got your grounding and you know more about what direction you want to take.
Okay, so if I wanted to move forward, I mean, I obviously have some research to do and discuss with some other people in our organization, but if I wanted to talk to somebody to discuss cost and options, how would I go about that?
Just email us you can either jump on another one of these and we can have another conversation. I do these pretty much every Friday. Or you can email us at support@membermouse.com. That's our standard support channel, but our support is second to none. That's basically a product just like our software. It's something we are put a very high priority on. So you can email that support. Somebody will get back to you very quickly. If you want to do, if you want something that's more like a consultation, like a technical consultation, we do have options of like, if you want to buy an hour of time, sit down with people on your team, have like a discussion about whatever, whenever you want, there is that option too.
Okay, so I could start with support, or I could just come back next Friday or another Friday
Yeah,
and talk. And are you the one that does this every Friday, or?
yeah,
Okay, cool. Maybe I'll do that. As always at 10:30 Pacific time.
yes. Next Friday, actually, except, it's mostly Fridays, but not next Friday. I have a previous engagement, but
That's okay. You're
yeah,
allowed.
so, but do email our support, and you can request and ask questions in the meantime. I mean, they know in some cases a lot more than I do in terms of specific implementation stuff, but also if I know something that they don't, they obviously ask me, and then I join in on the ticket. So in a sense, that is also a way that I can connect with you through that support channel.
Okay, great. So I can
It's
just
required. Yeah.
Start with support if I have any specific questions, and then go from there to maybe move forward if we decide to do so.
Exactly.
Okay, great. I think that's it for me. I had a lot today. I'm sorry about that.
No, it's great. I appreciate you bringing the questions, and wish you the best with the process. All right, so I think, oh, okay. I will, Vikita, you can unmute yourself now if you want.
Sorry, Vanessa took all my questions, so I think I'm good. I think the
Okay,
only
good.
I had was related to the plugins and how easy that would be to integrate that with MemberMouse or WordPress. Is that something where is it involved, or something we would need to have our IT company assist with, or is it pretty user friendly?
Well, it really depends on the plugin, because, for example, like a plugin like MemberMouse is vastly different than a plugin like something that allows you to put Google Analytics on your site, right? Because the Google Analytics plugin, you just turn it on, you provide your Google Analytics code, and it's set up, because that's all that plugin does. Whereas MemberMouse is essentially a whole e-commerce software, right? It has tons of functionality. So it depends on the complexity of the plugin, how much features that it offers. And then it depends on if there's going to be any touch points between MemberMouse and the other plugin. So there are many factors. It really depends on what you're trying to do.
Okay, so the list of the implementation partners that was dropped in the chat box,
Yeah.
Would they be able to, if we needed that assistance with that, would they be able to do that?
Yes, and the implementation partners really specialize and focus on different areas.
Okay.
So we have implementation partners who will do stuff like that. Like, I would call that a small job, right? It's like, I just need this one thing versus I want you to build this whole site for me, or I want you to build this whole custom set of functionality. So yeah, not everybody on the list will be tailored to whatever the projects are, but it will describe what they do on the list. So as long as you just review what they're doing, there are people on that list who will do things like that.
Great, thank you.
Yeah. Is that it?
Yes.
Cool. All right. So Cindy, do we have any other questions from other sources? Because if not, I will just wrap this up. Okay, cool. Great. Well, if there are no more questions at this time, then I'll wrap this up and wish everyone a great weekend. And I appreciate you both coming and asking all the questions. And like I said, if you do have anything in the meantime between our next session, feel free to email support@membermouse.com and ask whatever questions you have there. And yeah, that's it. Thanks again, and I will see you next time.